Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very Christmassy edition, at least one of 6 or so, which is going to have Christmas decorations and a Christmassy theme. It's not that Christmassy, but it is. Mr. Stephen has a dabble. Ah, yes, 'tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Welcome to these special Christmas episodes. Now, I have been threatening all year that we are going to be building a rustic house, and that starts tonight. Well, it might not. It might start tomorrow. I'm not sure. The very first thing I want to do, actually, is to show you round, because since making the last video, a few months have gone by, actually, and because I made a ton of videos all in one go, and I scheduled all that content so there'd be plenty of content for you guys. And of course, we've been streaming 2 days a week, playing Champions Online and playing Minecraft, and you can see those streams. I put the replays up every week, so there's plenty of Minecrafty stuff for you to have a look at. Anyway, we wanted to do, what I wanted to do was to build this rustic house. I asked back in June, I think it was, what people would like to see, whether like, let's see a really modern house or a techno house or whatever. Rustic won out. Without any ambiguity at all. It was just rustic house. That's what people wanted. So what I've done is I've gone and found myself online a rustic house, and what we're gonna do is rebuild it. Now, the reason for doing this, I can show you the rustic house that I was looking at. This is in a program called MC Edit. And I've got to get the right icon at the bottom of the screen. No, I got the wrong icon. Oh, there we go. There's MC Edit, and as you can see, I can look around. That character down there is me. That's Mr. Stephen. But you can see what the house is like. It's really cool. And this was created by a creator called Pooh Build, I think. Pooh something or other. Pooh with an H, like Winnie the Pooh. Not Pooh as in shipbuilder or anything like that. Poohcraft, I think it was, that did it. And if you have a look in the house, you can see it spawned a load of monsters and things inside. But never mind, we're not going to be putting monsters in our house. But what we are going to be doing is starting to rebuild some of this, so that we've got a decent house and something which is a little bit different. But before we start on that, what I want to do is switch over to the proper game, which is here. This is Herdcraft, and what I want to do is to show you around a bit. Okay, so right now I've got stuck in a block, and this is happening more times than I would like to suggest. I don't know how I got stuck in that block. I wasn't even... Oh, maybe I was. Maybe I was on the stairs. Occasionally, things happen. So let's show you what we've got here. We've got a ton of disk drives. Oh, I keep looking up here for the camera, but you're over here because I moved you for Christmas. That's why, you know, you've got all of the Christmassy decoration stuff. I want you to be able to see that, which you can't see it normally because the camera's pointing the other way. Okay, it's Christmas. Okay. So anyway, since we made the last video, things have moved on a little bit, and most of what I've done is just automation. So I actually can't remember where we were at the end of the last video, but you can see we've got all of these barrels and things. They're holding a lot of the stuff that we had, so we don't have to fill these disk drives up any quicker. There's a whole thing that we did down here with automating stuff, like this petal apothecary is now automated. This is Britannia. This is all now automated. We've got a Britannia room. I'll show you that in a bit, just in case I haven't done before. I actually can't remember what we covered. But we've got these bits here. Now, over here, this is a wither-proof thing, and I've killed a wither in order to get some stuff. These are Woot mob farms. Now, if you watch back the replays of the Herdcraft stuff we've been doing on Monday nights, we've done things like killing the wither. We've done things like building these Woot mob farms, and they work really well. They're great. All they do, and I think they've turned off at the moment. I can just check. yeah, I've taken all the power plugs out because they generate so much stuff, and I haven't needed it because I've been living off the Herdcraft bits. So you can see some of the resources that we've actually got to use right now. We've got audio problems. That's a start, isn't it? We've got 2.9 million spruce wood. We've got 800,000 oak. We've got 1 million birch. So we've got plenty of wood, plenty of resources in that respect. We've got all of these mystical flowers, which we can use mystically. We've got leather and chicken, and we're not going to be short of anything that we need. 117,000 ender pearls. So these are all the resources. Oh, look at that, 11,000 diamonds. And these are the resources that we're going to use in order to build our house. We've also got things like these hardened clay and the different coloured hardened clays and stuff, which I always really like. We've got plenty of things to play around with. I keep looking up there. I'm so sorry. I should be looking at you. No. So that's the under base stuff, and that's the amount of resources that we've got. You'll notice that there's other things over here. That things that I've auto crafters in, so that I can do things like blocks and redstone and simple stuff that you would normally just go, oh well, I'll craft that. But I wanted there to always be a certain amount of things in the system, and to do that, I've had to do a couple of other things. So anyway, that's that. I think I built that on stream, I'm sure. What else have we got up here? We've gone. This is underneath the solar panel now, but we've gone up to a tier 4 solar panel that you can see up there. It's a much bigger one. It's generating a lot more energy. The whole base is now completely wireless. So if I want to use my wireless thing there, I can anywhere. It makes it much easier to build and to manage things. I've got. Also got this expanded, well, that's the expanded inventory, and over here I've got a crafting table. So I don't actually need crafting tables as such anymore, because I have this crafting grid always on me, which is really useful. But I have to make sure I have all the resources before I start doing that. So I can't, if I wanted one of those, I couldn't move that across because I've got I haven't got the right stuff. What's better is to have a crafting grid from refined storage and use refined storage. It's so much easier to do because that has access to everything that's in the inventory, not just a few things. So over here we are automating Britannia. I don't think there's anything in there at the moment. No, there isn't. Let's have a look for coal. We haven't got much coal. We've got blocks of coal, but nothing else. So because we've got blocks and nothing else, it's not dropping into here. We don't seem to be increasing our coal at all, which is a bit of a problem. But it's not the end of the world because we're not using Britannia for too much, and we can always sort of add other things to it a bit later on. There are a few things that we've built. Let's have a look. Oh, I haven't got a rod of shifting crust yet, but I do have a builder's wand, which is there. We do have an infinite water source, and we do have other things as well. What's it called? This illumination wand, which is great. These little baubles are made from the illumination wand, and it means you don't need torches. You can just use those instead. So the other thing you might notice under here is that we've got these plant sowers, and they're all seemingly linked up to these little holes which have got plant recollectors. Oops, fell in a hole. If we go outside, and I know we haven't got long to do this because the sun's going to go down, we have got, okay, so these are the tier 2 resource miners. We don't need anything else. This is the tier 4 solar panel. We've got this thing is the Actually Additions Empowerer, which means if we want anything from Actually Additions, it's much easier to build. not easier to build, but it's yeah. We've got a tree farm over here, which only works if the amount of wood that we've got drops below a certain amount. Which is pretty cool. Oops. We've got sugar farms. Again, this is linked up to one of these things, so that if we have less than 1,000, it's going to start farming again. This is Britannia. This is automated Britannia, but we haven't got any mana for it yet. Then we have our basic Pam's resources and our farm. Then under here, in fact, I'm going to have to go and sleep, otherwise mobs will spawn and I'll be in trouble. I've got some dogs. I've got, well, wolves. I think they're still wolves. I'm not sure. Are they still wolves? When you've tamed them, I thought they were dogs. Maybe they're dogs. Maybe they're dwolfs. Maybe we'll call them that. Dwolf. Hello, dwolf. Okay, we've got a fisher down here. Here's a fisher. It's got a rod in it, which is constantly working to collect fish for us. That's it. That's all that we need. But that's our entire Minecraft survival bit all done. And the great thing about that is that now we can go off and we can get a different build somewhere else. So if I press my J key and we go new home, so I've already staked out a large bit of land where we're going to be building our new house, and I'm thinking, you see, down here I put a little network receiver so that in a sort of 45 block radius I can still do that. That's really important. But what I'm actually thinking of doing is starting the build up here so that the build is on higher land, and then once we've got the house built, I'd quite like to have, I don't know, maybe gardens or something. I'm not sure. But the other thing, of course, is I would love a little jetty with a boat on, and I've got a way of doing that which works really well. So we'll do that. But yeah, that's it. That's where we're going to be. So we're just we've got about 10 minutes left on the stream. On the video. Let's just mine some things here. Work. We're going to have to flatten some land out and take away some of these things. Now, there we go, that's quicker. If I press a certain button, now we hadn't talked about this on stream before. Let me go and show you something. We've got this thing called, which I can't remember what it's called actually, but it's an ore miner basically. So the idea, oh look at this, isn't this cool? The idea is if you have a lot of a particular resource, you can hold down one key, which I'm doing right now, and then you can take that resource out, and it mines all of that one resource all in one go, which is really useful. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when you're doing things like trees, it's incredibly useful if this is, now I've said that, it's not going to work. It's incredibly useful if you can just do this. There you go, and your tree's gone. Much quicker, much nicer idea. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have trees, because I'm sure we will. But it does mean that it's a bit quicker to do stuff with, which is kind of... Now, the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to start out... oh, you know, the other thing I can do is put all of this in here. That's kind of fun. The way we're going to do this is to start out, we're going to get rid of this beehive for a start. I'm being swarmed by bees. Okay, that's not a good thing. Why did that... What do I need to make bees disappear quickly? A scoop. I need a scoop. I haven't got a scoop. So let's go back home. Let's make a scoop, and I can get rid of those few beehives that are going to be... Right, so there we go. Oh, we want to get rid of that. Well, type in scoop. 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 We got a scoop. You see how quick that is when you know how. I'm just gonna. Did I? I'm just going to start this going so that we've actually got crafting resources. You see, what this is doing is working now, and I can go and leave that alone and do something else. So let's go back to the new homestead. Not going back to the new bumstead. That's a different thing at all. Right. There we go. There we go. We've got our bees. Another bee over here. You have to take the stings. That's the thing. There's so many of these things around. You just, you know. I collected. I've got Meadows drones. Lots and lots of Meadows drones. But that's enough for us to get started. We will have to be sort of clearing a few layers away and doing things like that. And look at look at how much that's used. Okay, so let's grab something to eat. And usually I do Pam's on this, but I'm just going to have some chicken. Why am I? Oh, I'm hungry. My hunger's going to go away in a bit, but it looks like I was hungry. I have heard that this is going to be a bit more unforgiving in the future in Herdcraft 2. That the hunger things are going to be a little bit worse. So that'll be fun. That's the idea, is for this thing to be fun. All right, I seem to be better again now. Fantastic. Right. This is where it's all going to get complicated because I have to switch back to MC Edit, which hopefully you're going to be able to see in a sec. There we go. And we're going to start doing some counting. So in MC Edit, which doesn't like this at all, no, it's stopped working. Okay, well, something was bound to go wrong, and what's gone wrong is MC Edit. So I'm going to need to try that again and not press the wrong button. I've got this Elgato Stream Deck. If you know what they are, if you've not seen them before, this is one of them. And you press buttons, and it controls OBS, which is fantastic. But if you press the wrong button, it controls it far too well, and you get the wrong screens up. So I do apologise. Usually I can kind of reach down and go, oh yeah, and now we're doing this, and then yeah, now we'll switch over to the game, and everything's wonderful. But sometimes that screws up. Let's open up this. Edit the house, which is where I was. Loading the world in at the moment, which is fine. And then if I just jump over here, hopefully, in a second, maybe? No, it's not going to show you anything like that. So let's just... I did it again. I pressed the wrong button. All right, so what I'm going to do is do some counting right now. And we're going to count. I was hoping to do this live on screen so you could see how I was putting this together. So if you wanted to do it yourself, you could have done. Right, I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15 by 11 is what we're going to do. That's what we're going to get in here. And we need some bricks. So I don't want to use cobblestone for this. I would actually like to use stone bricks. We have... Do we have? We have very few stone bricks in the actual system. We're going to need a lot more than that. So let's see. Is my grid ready yet? Okay, the grid is ready. So let's jump back home. Him. And we need a crafting grid. So let's grab my... Can't spell at all. Crafting grid, I need a crafting table and an advanced processor. So let's go advanced, one of them. And that, there we go. Got the advanced processor. Stick all of that in here. That's going to make a crafting grid. Yeah. And now we can jump back over to here, to new home. Handy being able to teleport. That's not a natural thing. That's because I'm a mod on the server. We'll take the crafting grid that we've just made. Oh, there we go. And we're going to stick that down here, which means that from now on we can use this to craft. Having said that, I'm going to have to go back home again, which I know this is putting tremendous strain on the server by doing lots of teleporting all in one go. Do a sleep, and then I can go back. Okay, so then when we go back, we're going to be ready to actually start putting this 11 by 15 brick grid down on the thing. That's going to be in tomorrow. I'm looking up here again, and I should be looking at you over here. That's going to be in tomorrow's video. I hope you've enjoyed Minecraft. No, that's the wrong button again. I hope you've enjoyed Minecraft for today. We haven't got started yet, but we're nearly there. It's nearly Christmas, so that's a great thing. What I really want to do is stop saying really so damn much, and take my socks off before the next screen because my feet are hot. Other than that, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let me press the right buttons. And until next time, don't just keep crafting, but keep Christmassy as well. Bye, folks. I forgot I had to stop the stream. Bye.